As usual, let's go through the materials I'm going to be using for this tutorial. I've got a piece of Bockingford watercolour paper. I've got my drawing down. You can see here I've got a nice little outline, pencil outline of a bee. And there's loads of free reference photographs online if you want to change the shape of the bee or the way the bee's facing. It's the techniques really that are more important with this one. So I've got a big jug of clean water. Just off camera there, I've got my spray bottle. I'm using a size 2 mop brush, just a small brush. I've got a piece of candle wax. That's optional. You don't have to use that. I've got a charcoal pencil. It's a willow charcoal, so it's quite a soft leaded pencil with charcoal. And I thought we'd have a go at this as well, guys. This is liquid charcoal, which I'm rather liking at the moment. So we'll have a play with that. 3 colours. I've got Sodalite Genuine. Any dark colour, any black colour. Payne's Grey Blue is also really nice as well. I've got a Cadmium Yellow Deep, and I've got the Scarlet Red. You don't need a lot of that, by the way, just a little bit. So I'm going to apply a little bit of wax to mine. I'd like to just show off these wings a little bit. So I'm just going to put some along the edges, maybe some squiggly bits inside. The problem with the wax is you can't see what I'm doing. You're only going to see that at the end of the tutorial when I put the paint on. So if you're unsure about that, then zip forward, have a look at the finished picture, and then you'll be able to see whereabouts I'm putting my wax resist. I'm going to put a little chinky, tiny little bit there just on the corner of that eye, and I'm going to just push that in and give that little light as well. Maybe just a little bit down those legs, but I'm going to put that down. Because it's so easy to get carried away, it really is. So let's start by using our pencil first. So let's draw some lines in, then we know exactly where we're going. So I'm using my charcoal pencil. Let's start up here and put some nice shapes that are going to look like a wing, hopefully. There we go, bring it down. They always got a little circle shape there as well, haven't they? Like a little bit to anchor it to its little body. There we go. So if we've got those shapes in there that hopefully are going to look like wings, and let's just pull a little line all the way around here. You see what I'm doing? I'm just pushing that charcoal in just to remind me of the shape as well, really. And it's very confusing, isn't it? It can get confusing when you're painting bees to know which is the black bit, which is the yellow bit. So the black is going to be on the head here. Then this section here that comes round like that, that's going to be my yellow section. Then I'm going to have another black section. I'll put a little bee there. Then a few little marks like that to suggest another yellow. Maybe a bit here for some black, and the white of the bottom half. A few little shapes in there just to suggest a big kind of leg coming out at the front, maybe one that's just coming behind. I'm keeping this nice and loose, so I'm not too concerned with lots of details. Let's put that circle in there. That's going to be one eye. Let's come across here and put the other eye in here. Remember, I put a bit of wax on there earlier as well, so that's going to be helpful. So there we go. Oh, what about an antennae? An antenna or two. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to block in the black shape. So I'll start with the head here. So I'm just going to gently just shade in. I'm using a not surface paper, by the way, so there's a little bit of texture going on there as well. Now, if you've not got a pencil, you could use a piece of willow charcoal as well to do this. So there's the black section. I want that one to be a yellow, so this section here will be a dark again. I'm going to put a little bit there as well, just inside that wing shape. And we'll come round, so we've got a black, a yellow, a black. This is a yellow, so let's make that a black. Maybe just a little bit of shading there on that bit. Again, just very loosely, just sketching in those little legs. Are they called legs? I don't know. I'm going to put a dark in for the eye as well now. Now remember, I put a bit of wax resist just around that point. So I'm now going to really press quite hard into that eye shape to make it stand out. And this one as well. Right, I'll come back to the wings later because I want to experiment as well, and I want to show you exactly how this is going to work, the liquid charcoal. So let's put in some fresh colour first. I always like to put fresh colour in first, whatever I'm painting. So let's pick up that cadmium yellow and let's just drop that lovely yellow, or maybe let it come down onto the leg as well. So he's collecting a lot of pollen today. There we go, put that yellow in there as well. I'm going to clean my brush, but I'm deliberately going to just pull and tease out a little bit of colour. Maybe put a bit in the wing as well. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Pick some up from there and just steal it and put it there, look. Now, there's not a lot I can do at the moment because it is very, very wet. So what I'm going to do is put my brush down. I'm going to let this completely dry, and then we can go in with some super dark details. So this one is nice and dry now, and let's put a little bit of this onto the wings. I mean, I could have used this, by the way, to put in the body as well, but I kind of wanted to show you how we can use charcoal pencils rather than the liquid charcoal. It's a weird thing. It comes out like a paint, but it's super granulated, and I'm just going to pop a little bit. Oh, look at that, into that wing. And lift it a little bit as well. I don't want it to be too dark. But I would like a separation. So what I mean by that is to separate that wing from that one. I'll put a little bit there as well. Let's take some more. Let's pop that in. I don't mind breaking the lines, by the way. In fact, I like to do that sometimes, just deliberately break those lines. I'll soften that down. And then I'm going to soften the charcoal that I put on earlier as well. So just with the wet brush, I'm going to tease that colour, look. Just softening it down. So you can still see those lovely little charcoal lines. So it's giving it a little bit of texture as well, which I think is always a bonus. Just wetting that little face. I'm allowing some of that liquid charcoal as well just to blend into those yellows. Try and keep that eye nice and clean. And already he's starting to look a bit lively, isn't he? Should we be brave? Let's pop a little bit of red into that yellow as well now. Let's just push it up. Just push it into that wash and clean my brush and just smooth it around a little bit. There we go. And we'll do this one as well. Make it quite red. And just tease it out. I might even just a couple of little taps there. I'm very tempted to put some yellow taps there as well. Why not? Okay, and if you're like me, you think you've overdone it, I'm just going to reach across here. If you think you've been a little bit too zealous with those splatters, you can always just lift a few away. It's not an issue. Right, okay. Now, we do have to let this completely dry now because I want to bang in some really dark details with the Sodalite Genuine. So again, let it dry. I'm going to give mine a little spritz just to break up that paint a little bit more, and also it kind of allows things to run as well, which I do like. I'm going to encourage that a little bit there, look. Just a little bit of a drip. If you don't like the drips, then don't do that. Okay, I'm going to let this one completely dry. So my bee is lovely and dry now, and I want us to put in darker value. Now, we could go in with the liquid charcoal again, and you can see the kind of texture that creates, but it doesn't give you very dark value. So I think it's probably best if I stick to the Sodalite Genuine. And if you think about it, what we've done is we've made it kind of red here, and then soften off to a yellow, red to a yellow. So I'm going to make the underbelly of the bee a lot darker. So I'm going to mix quite a strong mixture of that. And I'm going to start at the bottom here. Oh, it's still a little bit damp actually, mine. I'll put that in, bringing it round. I'm going to lose a little bit of that yellow as well now. Underneath. There we go. I'm going to clean my brush. It's going to take a bit of moisture off that as well. I'm just going to push that up now, gently using that side of my brush, just pushing it up so we go from a dark value to a much lighter value. And if you're not gone too dark, don't forget, you know, you can always go over that, can't you? You can always make it a bit darker later on. Nice and dark. I'm going to come dark around the eye as well. Do a little face. A bit more water, I think. Just soften that away a little bit here. There we go. And I know the eyes are dark, but I'm going to go in and put an extra little bit of dark into those eyes. Maybe a little bit stronger down the leg as well. He's already looking very bee-ish, isn't he? There we go. Nice bit of grey there as well. And his little tail. And he's looking rather nice, isn't he? And let's just experiment a bit more. What about those wings? Let's go back in with our pencil and create some kind of shapes. That those little creases that the bumblebees get into their wings. Just lovely little faint lines like that and lots of squiggles. There we go, just a few little squiggly lines. You can reinforce some lines as well. So if you feel like you've lost a shape, go back in here. Let's put a little dot at the end of his antennae. He does have another one there, but I can't see it. Just a little shape like that, look. And there we go. I think he's finished. It's quite a simple technique. Now, of course, you don't need, you don't have to use the charcoal and you don't have to use a liquid charcoal. I just thought I'd show you those just to, so, you can see how they work. You could just use pure watercolour. But at the end of the day, he's a lovely bumblebee in the summer looking for a flower or two. And there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Take care.